opportunity for America to invest in its kids and take an active stake in the future of the country. The return on your investment isn't money. What you get back is knowing you protected our potential. So one day, that potential can grow up to become surgeons and architects, executives and engineers, people who can change the future just by being a part of it. My name is Alicia, and I am your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
1 in 7 Americans will struggle with addiction during their lifetime. Want to know how you can help? Go to heretolisten.com for tips and tools to help turn addiction around. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hour 2 of Financial Renaissance with the M's. It's Emmanuel.
And the MF.
I like that.
VMF.
Oh, we don't
the M's.
The M's. And if you missed hour 1, boy, you missed a lot. You missed a lot of crime, some prophecies, some I didn't know that, but we got into a lot about financial infidelity. And we talked so much about it that Emma broke down some things, and like I said, Emma, some snot bubbles came out, some things like that. So, but in hour 2, we're gonna try to dive into what's Emma.
Yeah, it's Black History Month, and I want to highlight Black girl magic, Black woman magic. I want to highlight business entrepreneurs. Business owners are the lifeblood of our country. Okay, so business owners hire. We are the innovators. We are America. So while we have the first Black woman to have an international jazz experience, Dianna Clarkson.
Yes, ma'am.
You are a serial entrepreneur.
I am.
So when I met you, you were still working in the IT industry.
Correct.
All right, and that was like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Back when they had computers that were as big as
took up the whole room.
Y'all keep adding years.
Exactly.
Kind of
50 years ago. 50 years ago, and you had this vision for doing something really cool for people. And so as a business owner, tell us about walking away from a constant paycheck. Like, how do you walk away from a paycheck to the unknown? Why would anybody do that?
Let me sit and listen to this.
Well, it really is a walk of faith. It's faith, but I don't know. I guess I'm a weirdo. I never ever thought in life I couldn't do whatever I set my mind to, and I've always been like that. So it wasn't difficult for me. But I did, I had children. I'm a single parent and had kids to feed, so I couldn't be financially irresponsible or have financial infidelity with my children. So, I did double duty like a lot of people did, and I worked the business while I worked for corporate America until I had enough income coming in where I felt like I could cut the ties and focus on it full time.
So you let corporate America basically jumpstart. So corporate America was your VC, your venture capitalist without them knowing it.
Absolutely, and so it's a lot
that's the best way to do it, because most people they just cut ties and without a prayer or a hope.
Unfortunately, not needing a lot of sleep. That's good and bad. I burn the midnight oil.
We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, though. When you said you finally took that leave, when did you know? When did you say, all right, this is the time?
I'm going to be very honest, since we're friends. I really wanted it to be a few months later, but I got laid off.
Oh.
Which I had never been laid off. I'd been working in corporate America for 20-some years, and it was an interesting company that I was working for at that time, and they were, let's just say it was during the time Barack Obama was running for office, and I had an article of his on my desk, a newspaper, and somebody came by and flipped it over. I was reading it, so it was that kind of environment. And a few months later, I don't think one had anything to do with the other, but I was let go, and at that point I said, I guess this is time to swim.
You take your Barack Obama article and get up out of here.
Exactly.
Let's just add it to the list real quick.
Yes. But we hated looking at her every day. And
we just found our reason.
And she made more money than most people in here. And so, it was, and I was on TV. I was on HDTV. Remember when they did the thing on my house?
Yes, I was in the gym and I almost fell off the treadmill. I remember that day.
But you know what? Now I remember it. My boss came in and said, I got a phone call from someone in South Carolina. One of the managers said he saw your house on TV. And I was like, oh, know.
Yes.
And it's amazing, and that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole other show.
That you can't be proud, or I've worked
When
for
people
what
see
I have.
what you have, they want to start counting your coins.
Yeah,
They want to start,
exactly.
when you make smart money moves, people just automatically assume.
Oh, she got how many square feet?
Yeah.
Right. Like,
And she's
where's
on
this?
TV. What did she do in her backyard?
Yes.
And you live there? Oh my gosh.
Okay, wait a minute.
Yes, yes.
Add that up.
People start counting the coins. But as a business owner, as a woman, as a female business owner, do you think that you have been treated equally as everyone else? Have you run up against any type of issues?
The first business I started, it was, I did not, because it's a female-dominated industry, healthcare.
Yes.
So that one, all the business owners are females, and so in that regard, no. In the new business venture, not only is it female, but it's also cultural.
Yes.
Because I do a lot of work in Mexico. I'm a Mexican resident also.
Can you speak Spanish?
Un poquito.
Un
Practica
poquito.
mucho, pero necesito mucho.
I can practice with her.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were supposed to be able to speak Spanish. Very sad,
I
Emma.
understood what you said, but go ahead.
Yeah, so, but we, so I'm practicing because I don't want to be one of those people that lives somewhere and can't speak the language.
Correct.
So that's just my personal thing,
Yes.
whatever you do.
And you need to know when people are talking about you.
Hey, and I need to know, but since everything there is in Spanish, my utility bills and everything else, I need to know when I'm being cheated. So,
Right.
but yeah, I think in the first business, I did not feel that way, but in this one, there is. When I go to talk to a lot of the business people, I do a lot of business in Mexico with other business people. There are a lot of female entrepreneurs.
I was
going
going
to
to ask, in Mexico, is there a cultural thing, like they don't want to talk to women, or they don't have a problem?
Some, but you know what? My team in Mexico, and you talk about girl power and brown girl power and things like that. My lawyers, a female-owned business. Our transportation companies, a female-owned business.
That's what's
the
up.
magazine that's behind us is doing this, a female-owned business.
Nice.
So a lot of the women we deal with the hotels and the architects, and when I bought my home, they were all females. So it was really amazing to see in Mexico. You hear a lot of things about that, but, it was good to know that it wasn't all true.
Let me just ask, I've talked to Emma about this, but when it finally came true,
Yes.
your business, and you were able to see it, what was that feeling like for you?
When I knew I didn't need corporate America and everything, it was freedom. It felt like I had really grown up. I mean, it could be a little scary, but I don't know. I just have faith that everything always works out. It is hard. I don't think everybody should be a business owner.
Everyone can't be a business, because
Yeah.
Great way to
it
put
takes
that.
a lot. Like,
If you're not a
I
self-starter.
know you,
Yes.
and you've taken, like, I've watched you take lumps that I know I would have moved back home with my mom, not because from a financial standpoint,
Oh.
but because I would need a hug.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
literally, I would need a hug. Like, I
Oh.
just need to go home.
My mom, I was over there yesterday, she looks at me and she just shakes her head and she says, I don't know how you do it. And because I catch a lot of stuff from a
Hey,
lot
for
of
the
direction.
years, I think it was 2017, every time we talked, it was, please don't stroke out.
Yes. 16 and 17 were the worst
16 and
years of my
17
life.
were yeah.
Yeah, I learned some lessons nobody wants to learn from the federal government.
Yeah, and that'll be another show, so don't say a
Yeah,
word. That'll
okay.
be another show, but it is
Yes.
something that people need
Everybody
to know about.
needs to know. And that's a part of who I am as a person. If I go out there and I'm on the tip of the arrow and I find something out, I want to let everybody know,
Yes.
hey, don't go this direction. Behind door number 1 and 2 are bad. Try door 3.
We call that each one, teach one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and I live and breathe it.
Yes.
I live and breathe it. It's just who I am as a person.
So I'm being nosy. Talk to us about this particular industry and how it treats
Women or
Women.
people. It's a rough, the music industry and promoting and all of that, it is, people told me it's one of the ugliest businesses there are. Backstabbing, we went to a lot of effort. I was able to do, and I shouldn't say I, when I say I mean my team, we were able to do something that was unheard of, to create this event in Mexico, a foreign country, never been done in Cabo. There's other other jazz festivals, but nothing like this, and to be this comprehensive. And, we did it. It was successful. The artists, the people who came, it was very well received. And then what do we get for that? Now someone else wants to come in the market. It's kind of a David and Goliath, and come in and say,
Yeah, but we'll talk a little bit about that, because I was gonna ask you, because I thought you were the only
we were.
jazz festival, and I was telling people that I'm gonna be speaking in Cabo, and someone said, which jazz festival in Cabo? And I said, what do you mean, which jazz festival? There's
Wow.
only one jazz festival in Cabo.
Wow.
And there's another one now, And, you know, I'm not breathing life, and I don't want to give this person any props or whatever, but it's amazing how when you're doing something and people have an opportunity to do it also, that they don't just do it. And then when they see you do it, they, you know,
Yeah, want to get on the bandwagon.
want to get on the bandwagon.
So we're gonna take a quick.
When we come back, I
When
want
we
to
come
talk
back,
about
let's
that.
jump into it.
Yes.
And she set it up. So, you know, we won't breathe life to somebody else, but we're gonna bring it up.
Absolutely.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It is Sean Prime from Inside the Loop with myself and Brenna B, and I've been talking about Jeans Body Tech for a minute simply because it's a premier gym in a pristine spot without a premium price. All the weight you need, all the machines you want, free parking, all in Buckhead. Come on, it's crazy. 700 Miami Circle is where you want to work out today. And for those who are feeling a little bit down because you may not have followed through on the healthy New Year resolution thing, hey, it's still the new year. You can start today. Look at yourself a year from now and hello, is that you? Because you're looking good, like snack-like. Yes, you are. 700 Miami Circle, or go to facebook.com/Jeans Body Tech, also known as JBT Fitness. Either way, $49 is nothing to pay to feel your best every day.
My savings are gone.
Hey, where were they last?
Here, right before I spent them on that vacation to Aruba.
Weird. Not weird. Not saving now means no money later. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Honey, what you cook for dinner tonight?
You want the good news or the bad news first?
The bad news first.
I cooked nothing.
Well, that's the good news then.
Uh-huh. Well, there's no bad news then because tonight we're going to have Jerk Palace.
Call Jerk Palace for authentic Caribbean cuisine, including vegetarian entrees with authentic Caribbean flavor. Call 770-892-5049. Located at 6221 Jonesboro Road, Highway 54 in Morrow, Georgia.
Jerk Palace. Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is big business. This is the American way.
Station Network.
See ya.
We are back with Dianna Clarkson of Life Luxe Jazz. I am so excited. The first black, I'm going to keep saying it, the first black woman to put on an international luxury jazz experience. I heard some really good things from the people that went. I'm excited. I know my wife's excited. It's around her birthday time, so that's her birthday gift. We're going to go to Cabo so I can work.
My wife's birthday is October 31st, so I guess I'll have to come.
Yes.
We could do a show down
It would
there.
be good. It would be an international show. We would kill it. We'd have on the beach. Oh,
Perfect
yeah.
backdrop.
Perfect backdrop.
We just have to have rules on when we can participate.
We have to do the show pre-alcohol.
Yeah, we have to make sure. Like,
same time.
Yeah.
No tequila.
But Emma, you were talking about about that. So bring it.
So with Dianna, you know, she was the first person to do and she went through a lot of work, and I know firsthand, you know, full disclosure, you know, we're friends. I sit on one of her boards, and so when she was putting this jazz, when she was birthing the idea, there was a lot that went into it. I mean, there was a whole lot that went into it, and so now she made it happen, and now all of a sudden there's competition.
Yes.
So, and not only is it competition, someone asked me which one.
Wow.
Yeah, because I just did a presentation, my first webinar last week, and I was telling people that I'm going to be in Cabo in 2019. I'll be in Napa Valley in 2020. And when I told the person about the jazz festival, like literally they came back and said, which jazz festival? And what do you mean which? There's only one jazz festival in Cabo.
Not anymore.
So Dianna, this, I guess, copy is the best form of flattery.
And then to be perfectly honest, I mean, they do other ones, so it's not that this is the first time this has ever been done anywhere. It was just the first time there.
Yes.
And, you know, if you are true and comfortable in what your power and what you are offering in your product, then it's okay. But it is, you know, a little disheartening when the name is so similar and the intent seems to be to cause confusion.
Yes.
Whether it is.
Yes. Your note to self.
You know, you're kind of like,
And what's the name of this experience?
Life Luxe Jazz Experience.
Life Luxe Jazz
The Los
Experience.
Cabos Jazz Experience.
There we go.
And so, you know, but we will prevail, and we ain't scared, and it will be okay.
Talk to us about the food, because you got me. You remember, you know how I am. Talk to us about the food.
She didn't care about the jazz. She just wanted to know what's there to eat. And, you know, a lot of people don't realize that Los Cabos and Cabo in particular, our theme this year is jazzing around Los Cabos. So, what makes us special and unique is that we're not just going to be at one property where you're there all day and you're stuck eating the same type of food that property has to offer, although I'm sure it's delicious. Our intent is to, again, spread the wealth. I think when you talk about one of the key differences between a female-run business and maybe a male-run business is that there's a great balance between what we call masculine energy and thought and feminine. And we need the masculine to feel like we're going to go out and conquer the world and do the things we have to do. But what's amazing with the feminine energy, we're able to have a desire to help and want to
incorporate
and want everybody to win.
Yes.
And so in this regard, if you're going to come to a beautiful place like this, and it is stunning, one of the things we want people to know is what's the best of Mexico. You know, people have in their mind Mexico, and I grew up in San Diego, so people think TJ. But this is not Cancun, this isn't TJ, this is Los Cabos, Mexico. You know?
This is not where the kids come for spring break.
No, we get them a little bit.
It's a different environment.
It's high-end, it's luxury, so that's the name Life Luxe. The focus is on Luxe, and they are an amazing food destination place.
Okay, so I'm going to bring them all together. So when you're doing something like this, financial fidelity is very important, right?
Yes.
Because this is a lot. My head just blown.
Oh, you have to. My business partner Terry Powell, that's my sister, and you know we have complete trust and support. She's the CFO and she's the money lady, and she loves to say no. And I hope she's listening and laughing. But I tend to want to give everything away. I'm the big part.
Isn't that funny? That's how I am? And my money person always says no.
Exactly.
She's already saying no. She says no to everything.
And I see something, and I'm in the big part. Oh, we could do that.
So cute.
We could help them, and we could do that. And she's like, no. We've got one outreach program. We're doing vision, and that's it, Dianna. Stop picking up, new projects.
Well, how can people? What's the website?
www.lifeluxejazz.com.
Luxe.
Luxe, and you'll see the lineup. The lineup is changing. We'll have more artists added, but it's really about the experience. We're also going to add the programming.
All right.
So, thank you. We appreciate it. We'll be back. It's just too much going on.
Last night I'm sure you said you loved me.
Major key alert, life is like school. You will be tested, so pass it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com. Brought to you by Get Schooled and the Ad Council.
Sensation Station Network. SSNATL.com.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish dad.
Oh, come on. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I'm more resourceful than I thought.
My suit can still make an impression.
My video games are still game changers.
And my lamp can bring others a bright future.
Because when I donate my stuff to Goodwill,
It helps fund job placement and training for people right in my community.
Now my stuff gets a second chance.
And will give someone in my community
A second chance, too.
Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. That's goodwill.org. This message brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. You know, I help people solve difficult problems every day, but one problem has me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. Luckily, the Feeding America network of local food banks collects surplus food, giving hope to hungry children and their families. But they need your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
You use tearless baby shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bath water to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Honey, what you cook for dinner tonight?
Do you want the good news or the bad news first?
The bad news first.
I cooked nothing.
Well, that's the good news then.
Uh-huh. Well, there's no bad news then, because tonight we're gonna have Jerk Palace.
Call Jerk Palace for authentic Caribbean cuisine, including vegetarian entrees with authentic Caribbean flavor. Call 770-892-5049. Located at 6221 Jonesboro Road, Highway 54 in Morrow, Georgia. Jerk Palace.
It is Sean Prime from Inside the Loop with myself and Brenna B, and I've been talking about Jeans Body Tech for a minute simply because it's a premier gym in a pristine spot without a premium price. All the weight you need, all the machines you want, free parking, all in Buckhead. Come on, it's crazy. 700 Miami Circle is where you want to work out today. And for those who are feeling a little bit down because you may not have followed through on the healthy New Year resolution thing, hey, it's still the new year. You can start today. Look at yourself a year from now and hello, is that you? Because you're looking good, like snack-like. Yes, you are. 700 Miami Circle, or go to facebook.com/Jeans Body Tech, also known as JBT Fitness. Either way, $49 is nothing to pay to feel your best every day.
If you're looking for that ratchet, you're in the wrong place. It's the nation's urban internet station, Sensation Station Network.
Welcome back to Frontline Renaissance with the M's. Hour 2, we're doing our thing. She's getting it. So, right now, it's time for y'all to get a little knowledge. Emma, Knows Money is a segment. Emma, give the folks what they need to know.
All right. I wish I could, but I can't. I just look like I can. So we're going to go back into what we were talking about today about financial infidelity. And what I really would like to do on this show, we're going to talk about problems, but we're also going to have solutions. And the solution for financial infidelity, and to make sure you never end up there, as I mentioned, was to, number one, is to run your household like a business. And as you run your household like a business, you have to, number one, track what's coming in and track what's coming out. So whether you're by yourself, you're partnered, you're married, whatever the situation is, you guys need to write it down. And I say write it down versus doing things on the computer. When we write things down, it actually kind of embeds into your brain. Okay, especially if this is something new for you. There's tons of apps, and we'll get into that in another, a totally different show. We'll talk about apps that are available, but you should really be tracking. So anything that you do that makes money. So your 9-to-5 job, your hobbies. I know a lot of people that do work on like Upworks or Fiverr, like they have little gigs. They pick up scooters. They pick up scooters. Hey, I know a kid that makes $250 a night picking up scooters, right? Wow. So you write down all the income streams that you have coming in, and then you write down all of your expenses. And for a lot of people, a lot of the expenses we have are little expenses. The Netflix, the Hulus. Yeah. If you have an iPhone or a Google, it's the apps, $15 here, $5 here a month, and a month, and a month. And then you look at what's coming in, you look at what's going out, and if what's coming in is as much as what's going out, you need some leeway, all right? Because you have to make sure that you are saving money, putting money into your savings account for that, when times are hard, right? So that's how you start building up your 1 month of living expenses, 2 months of living expenses, 3 months. So you want to save so that you guys can survive, bad times. So you create a spending plan from that. And then make sure that you're giving yourself some fun money. What will stop the financial infidelity is if you give yourself an allowance, right? And then you monitor, I hate saying allowance for grown-ups, and then you monitor what you're spending and what's going on.
Man, that's what's up. Stay tuned for more.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I do the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
No. Sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C, look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kinda love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Honey, what you cook for dinner tonight?
Do you want the good news or the bad news first?
The bad news first.
I cooked nothing.
Well, that's the good news then.
Uh-huh. Well, there's no bad news then, because tonight we're gonna have Jerk Palace.
Call Jerk Palace for authentic Caribbean cuisine, including vegetarian entrees with authentic Caribbean flavor. Call 770-892-5049. Located at 6221 Jonesboro Road, Highway 54 in Morrow, Georgia. Jerk Palace.
Sensation Station Network.
So, Jess, you just heard Emma Knows Money, and we talked about how to get out of this, and you brought up some very good points as far as make sure you I think a lot of things that, I like the allowance part, Emma, because people, it's not an ugly word, but people need to understand that.
And people, and again, let's go back to the maturity, and I don't know what you want to, a better word for allowance other than fun money, right? And because, when you think allowance, you think of being a child and your parents giving you a couple bucks, but give yourself an allowance. Like, I have a separate account, and I suggest people have a separate account for their fun money. So, for instance, if it's, on a weekly basis, is it $25? Is it $50? Is it $100? Is it $1,000? Everybody's situation is different. So only you know how much money you should put aside for your fun money.
I mean, as you figure out, but do you have a suggestion for people who maybe don't know how much fun money should I take out?
Well, in order to determine how much fun money to take out for yourself, make sure you take out money for your savings first. And so once you take out money for your savings and all bills are paid, look at what's left, look at your goals, and then you make a decision. Okay, you make a decision from there, or you speak to your financial person if you need help. There's financial advisors, financial planners, even your CPA may be able to, give you some suggestions, or you can read what the rules of thumb, what a rule of thumb is. But when you have that money set aside, I suggest having it even on a card, or you just carry the cash around with you. And if for the week, let's say you had $100 and not including gas, because you need gas to get around. So that's not
like
fun money.
Regular.
Yeah, it should be. Fun money is literally money that you can take, and if you wanted to go to the store and spend it all, it's not going to impact anything else. Okay? So that fun money, once you're done spending it, is done. So if you spend it all on Monday, you can't go out with your people on the weekend.
You're done.
Yeah, you're done. You're on punishment. You're grounded because you spent all your fun money, so now you can't go out and have fun.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing to say, because some people might dip into the regular money to continue the fun money.
Yeah, and that requires a little bit of maturity and self-control. We are an immediate gratification society.
Very.
And we have to go back old school. Again, looking at what just transpired with the government shutdown.
Yeah.
And when we look at the amounts of people and the rippling effects of that is still not done.
No.
$11 billion was lost.
Wow.
Ripple effect is still not done. You have to make sure, you don't put fun above your family's greatness.
Right.
Or your family's wealth growth, or however you want to say it.
And I think, like you said, this is a great time, because I know so many people who are affected by the shutdown.
Yes.
And having to determine, okay, how we're going to eat, going to places that you normally think you wouldn't go to.
Right.
Like you said, to go get food banks and stuff.
And it's to me, if I'm hungry and my family's hungry, I won't be embarrassed. But for a lot of people, that's humiliating. It's very humiliating. So you have to have money set aside, and that's where coming up with a spending plan, making sure you know what's coming in, what's going out, so that you don't hopefully end up in a situation like that.
Yeah. Somebody's told us she's bringing church in the studio this morning. So.
That's right.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work.
Sorry, I'm late.
Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Already coaching? Everybody's a coach these days. I get it. Life coach, relationship coach. financial coach, but you want to be a coach with integrity. So get certified and do it the right way, or add coaching to the work that you already do. Join a cohort or take classes at your own pace. We have knowledgeable instructors. We have a life-changing curriculum. Go to academyofcreativecoaching.com to learn more.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me. Whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
And so a new American industry has been born.
Sensation Station Network.
So, what you think? Financial Renaissance with the M's. We killing y'all every Sunday from 10 to 12 right here on the Sensation Station Network, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Don't be trying to stay up late. We don't want y'all up there. We did it on Super Bowl Sunday, Super Bowl 53. And just, if you want to keep in contact with us, Emma, tell them where they can go.
Yeah, you can find us on financialrenaissance.com. We have a website, but we don't check it. But if you go to Instagram, we have an Instagram page. You can shoot your comments to us if you want to become a guest or you have something interesting that you want to hear us talk about. Financial Renaissance on Instagram, Financial Renaissance on Facebook, and on Twitter is Financial Renaissance, but we're at EMS Said It, EMMS Said It.
Because, you know, once you put it in, Twitter don't like all them big words.
Yeah, so at EMS Said It.
Said it.
The M said it.
I think people might want to know, what's going on where you at? Where's your business at? You're doing so much and dropping this knowledge today.
Yeah, my company is expanding. We have a new person starting tomorrow. I'm very, very excited about that. Can't say her name till tomorrow.
Can't give it out yet.
Yeah, but I'm making our mark now. My company is Greenwood Wealth Management. We're located near the Fox Theater, and we are comprehensive financial planners. Mm-hmm. We take it very seriously. We have 3 CFPs at my firm, and a Donna.
You want to make sure you know Donna.
You want to make sure if you call the company, you are calling Donna, and be nice.
Or she will make you nice.
She will make you nice, yeah. She has a beautiful voice. But,
so I want to go back to just a few things you brought up about just being that this is Black History Month, and we don't want to overlook what you've done as far as, being a black female and doing what you're doing, and just creating your business and doing your business. How was it for you in making this leap of faith? Like
it was not easy. It's one of the most trying things I'd ever done because I embarked on this during the Great Recession. I went from having a paycheck to having no check, and my wife stayed with me. My girlfriend at the time, she stayed with me. She didn't leave me when the money went away and when I had to clip coupons. But as a business owner, it is very difficult. You have to think of so many things. There's so many moving parts. And as Dianna said, it's not for everyone, right? The business, our company name, my business partner, Jeffrey Wright, he's in Alabama. He came up with it, and we came up with it after the last election in 2016. Yeah. He called me that next day and said to me, enough is enough, because we went through a lot during the Obama presidency at our firm. We were at a firm together, and we heard all types of stuff. And when you have to listen to a lot of, that microaggression talk, you want to, you don't want to live, you spend more time with the people you work with than you do with your own families typically.
And that's another part of the financial fidelity. We're going to wrap this puppy up, man. Y'all stay tuned. We got something. Stay back.
I'm more resourceful than I thought.
My suit can still make an impression.
My video games are still game changers.
And my lamp can bring others a bright future.
Because when I donate my stuff to Goodwill,
it helps fund job placement and training for people right in my community.
Now my stuff gets a second chance.
And will give someone in my community
a second chance too.
Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. That's goodwill.org. This message brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life.
Young adults of unique determination and experience, an ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Marie Callender's knows that you may not have time to roll out dough for a perfectly flaky crust that's made from scratch, or enough time to mix veggies with all white meat chicken and a homemade gravy. She knows you may not have a moment to crimp the edges of your favorite chicken pot pie, but Marie Callender's does. And when she's done, all you need to do is find time to grab someone special, sit down, and savor. Marie Callender's, it's time to savor.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me. Whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, talk, touch their hair. Details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones we carry with us every day. Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
So make sure today at 4 o'clock you tune into the Sensation Station Network, because connecting the dots with Lee Watts, kind of like that rhyme, the way it goes. From 4 to 5, we'll be on the air, man. So stay tuned. Come back. Check with us. You know, we also got jazz in between, so we do a little jazz on Sunday. See, we do jazz. We talk Life Luxe with jazz. I just want to thank Dianna.
Oh, yes. Dianna
She was
Clarkson.
phenomenal.
She was phenomenal. She's a phenomenal woman. I mean, you know, and if you're interested in going to Cabo, again, I will be doing a financial something in Cabo. Go to lifeluxejazz.com. Packages are already up there. Go on and get them before the prices go up.
Yeah, for the price of the, I was going to say that.
But don't be a financial infidel. Make sure you talk to your spouse first.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
And I think it was a great start to 2000. I mean, especially since Super Bowl is here, and I'm sure there was some financial infidelity going on.
There was there's going to be a lot of financial infidelity going on tonight, but that's, you know, hey, you can recover from it.
Right.
Okay, you can recover from it. And, you know, we did talk a lot about financial infidelity. We talked about immaturity. We talked about all the, you know, for me, it's fun talk, you know. But the aftermath of it, if you or your partner has an issue with spending, go ahead and seek professional help. There's nothing wrong with speaking to a therapist or a counselor. A lot of people have PTSD because of how they grew up, depending on the neighborhood you grew up in. We all have stuff that we may need help, you know, moving forward on. And, you know, have those money meetings.
Yep.
I call it Payday Eve. Payday Eve is the best time to have a money meeting. And if it's something that you're not comfortable doing, you know, have some wine. And depending on the state that you're in, wine and weed, you know, whatever it is you need to do.
And I like the way you say that, because you know when you get paid. So the best time to do it is the day before you get paid.
Yeah, the day before you get paid or the weekend before you get paid, depending on your lifestyle.
Right,
Some people have children and, you know, it's hard to get time. But these meetings literally sometimes end up lasting about an hour or two. And it's not because you're talking about money, but you actually start making plans. Right? This is how you take your family forward.
And it's amazing how that works once you start talking about it.
Yeah, once you start talking about it, it becomes a beautiful thing. Like, you talk money to me, that's sexy.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Bank accounts. I like O's. I like the O's. And commas.
Yeah, if you ain't got a lot of commas.
I like the commas.
Let's work on those commas.
Work on the commas.
So, yeah, just great show.
Great show.
I think you want to how did you come up with the name of your business again?
Greenwood?
Yeah.
Oh, Jeffrey Wright came up with it. We're actually paying homage to Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Greenwood Avenue was one of the streets. You know, in the 1920s, black communities were wealthy. And this particular community had over 600 business owners. They had their own schools. They had their own hospitals. They were self-sustaining. And, you know, you heard of the Gap Band?
Yeah.
Yeah, GAP, Greenwood, Archer, and Pine.
Greenwood, Archer, and
Black
Pine.
Wall Street. So paying homage to Black Wall Street, we came up with the name, and we're doing some really good things. Our firm is a great firm for people, you know, in our industry is very conservative, and we are forward thinking. We embrace technology, and so we have a firm that a woman can flourish, because in our business there's not a lot of women.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very, very difficult business to be in if you're a woman, but we do make things comfortable for people who want to run their business the right way and care about their clients, and want to do the right things and embrace financial planning. You know, you can give us a call at 404-633-9952.
And you will talk to
Donna.
Doesn't get to Emma, goes through Donna. But I think one thing that we got from the show today is real quick, is that communication is key. I think that's a big word that people got to understand. You got to be able to, and you know, I be one to say, I'll be honest, you know, put it out there, I have my immaturities too.
We all do, but we all do. We all do.
And you just something that you got to learn the older you be, because if you don't,
it's going to cause a problem. No matter when it's said, it's going to come out. It's better to just talk about things ahead of time.
Yeah. And I think also, just funny from the story that said you brought it up, where you took 20 grand and you're supposed to be putting it away, and you built a store. Just stuff like that is amazing. Some of the stories we heard today that can go on with a subject like this.
Yes, it can go on and on and on, because there's so many stories about it. Again, you know, money is one of the number one reasons why marriages break up.
Wow. Now you're gonna cheat ahead, but do we know what we're talking about next week? Are we gonna keep it?
We're gonna keep it a secret, because we're gonna be kicking in the door again, and yes, we're gonna keep that a secret. But you will know if you follow us. You can follow me on social media. Emma Knows Money. It'll be on there. It'll be on Financial Renaissance social media pages. But we'll throw it up there.
Yeah, I got a ton of them. I don't know mine.
Yeah, we have. We already have all our shows picked out for the first quarter.
Yeah, so very interesting. Make sure, guys, you're out there. You're checking us out on social media. We're gonna put these shows back out there. We're gonna do some things like this. Come back and watch it if you missed anything. But we want to make sure you understand that this is to help you financially. And you know, me being here, I'm gonna be learning a lot. So that's why this works out, because I sit there like, I did that. Let me go back and do it.
Yeah, well, one of the things why we created the show is we want people to know to stop being financial bystanders. So when you know what's happening with tax law, when you hear politicians talking about certain things, you know, we're always thinking, well, what does that have to do with me, or how does that affect my pocket? And you really need to start paying attention. And so I'm paying attention. And on this show, we're going to talk about that. How does it affect your bottom line?
Yeah.
How is it going to impact your community? How is it going to impact our country?
Yeah, because money is everywhere. And like we talked about today,
Money makes the world go round.
It wasn't a cultural thing. It wasn't a sexist thing. It was just everybody had these issues. And the number that got me today, I think I'm going to do this every show, 48%.
48%.
Have committed fidelity.
Financial infidelity. They're financial infidels.
And that's something that is just, wow, that's a lot going on. So we're proud to have you every Sunday right here. You know, like this was, you know, it was funny, Super Bowl 53, I kind of hit a lot of events this week, so I was like, I hope Emma's got me today, because I'm struggling.
I'm glad you didn't say that. I stopped myself from drinking too much last night. My wife poured my drink into her cup and my best friend's cup to make sure I got here on time.
Yeah. So I just came in as early as I could so I can lay on the couch, get some rest.
Sad.
It would have been bad.
It would have been bad.
I mean, you know, I'm glad. Shout out to Trina. I mean, she stopped that, because it could have been.
It could have been.
A hangover show.
Definitely. Shout out to my favorite wife. Shout out to my favorite wife, Trina.
Wait a minute, how did that favorite?
My favorite. I have a favorite wife and a favorite son.
I don't even know where to go with that.
My favorite wife, Trina, for making sure I got to bed on time last night, making sure I stopped talking at a certain time, making sure I do all the things I need to do so that I'm not sniffling and snotting on air.
Yeah, you had to talk about the woman snot bubble.
Hey, man, you know when people snot bubble, you know that's real.
That is true.
Out the nose.
So you heard it. Financial Renaissance with the M's.
We will see you next week.
Emmanuel.
The M.
Effa. It's in the books.
That's a wrap.